My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. You are here for this wonderful tennis watch along. Well, I hope it'll be a wonderful one. Whether it be Carlos Alcaraz against Casper Ruud or Elina Svitolina against Katarina Siniakova, that is floating boat today. Whichever of the two it is, I will be here to talk you through it. Casper Ruud is serving first, by the way, Regarding Siniakova and Svitolina, they are on court as well as they attempt to reach the quarterfinals in Indian Wells, but they have not yet started their match, but they will be any moment. So I'll be keeping you abreast of that. Do get voting in the poll, by the way, as to who you think is going to win. I would love to know your thoughts as well in the live chat. Do get joining. And of course, if you are new to the channel, click subscribe. We are trying to get 50,000 subscribers. And if you hit subscribe, by the way, you see this little number just below my head. This little number here. That will tick over. And you will know it is you who made the difference. And you can do a little dance. So Ruud 40-30. So down the tee, good return there from Alcaraz. And I think Casper has missed that forehand or that shot cross court. And as a result, we're at deuce. I think that's members of Casper's family we're looking at there. Yeah, so Siniakova and Svitolina just getting underway. Svitolina serving first, and she has won the first point to get to 15-love. Okay. Jessica Pegula winning in straight sets earlier, by the way. Alcaraz forehand down the line. Casper does really well to defend it. Oh, wow. But then Casper hits a forehand that clips the net and goes wide. And we're going to have a break point already for Carlos Alcaraz. If you're a fan of Casper Ruud, and maybe it's not a good idea to look at the head-to-head. As it's 5-1 in Carlos's favor. The only win for Casper, by the way, that he got was at the ATP Finals in 2024, indoor conditions. Probably not favoring either player, but... Okay, let's see how this break point pans out. Then we'll get back to Siniakova and Svitolina. Alcaraz goes long, deuce. Okay, that was just me talking about Pegula and Bencic earlier. Break point here for Carlos Alcaraz, by the way. Forehand return is so good. And Alcaraz breaks already. Casper Ruud was at 40-15. But Alcaraz breaks first. Hello, Ghosty. You're an esteemed friend of the show, by the way. Svitolina has held 1-love. She leads, and now Siniakova is serving, and it's love 1. Sorry, love 15. My bad. Okay, so Svitolina held for 1-love. Casper Ruud was not able to hold, and so the warm favorite in this clash, the person who leads the head-to-head by 5 matches to 1, has drawn first blood by getting the break of serve. Backhand there from Alcaraz into the backhand of Ruud. The backhand of Ruud, by the way, is the weaker side, but it's not that weak. Although there's a backhand slice from Casper that goes long. As he looks up to the sky at the sun. See members of Alcaraz's team chatting to each other, including the brother of Carlos and Samuel Lopez, who's now the main coach of Casper. In the absence of Juan Carlos Ferrero, I say the absence, of course. The no longer work. Look at that defense from Casper, by the way, but it's still not going to win in the point. 30-love. I love 30 here on the Siniakova serve, by the way. So maybe we're going to get an early break for Svitolina. Look at that forehand winner speed, 99 miles an hour. For those of you that prefer kilometers an hour, I think it's about 130. Carlos misses the first serve there. So a second serve here for Casper to look at. Backhand return into the backhand of Carlos. It's going to be a backhand winner from Carlos, unerring that backhand. And so therefore it's 40-love. 3 game points for a 2-love lead for the world number 1. Siniakova has won back-to-back points, by the way, to get us to 30 all. Good serve down the tee there from Carlos to get an ace. And it's 2-love for Carlos Alcaraz as he consolidates that break advantage. Siniakova 30 all with Svitolina. And now 3 points in a row for Siniakova. She now has a game point. So, game point for Siniakova to get to 1 game all. Serves down the tee there from Ruud. Backhand drop shot here from Carlos, but I think Casper's going to get it. And now is this lob going to land in? It is. What a lob that is from Carlos Alcaraz. Love 15. Yeah, if you're a fan of Casper Ruud, not the ideal stat. Look at the people dressed up as bees, by the way. Reminding us, of course, of the Indian Wells tournament of 2024, I think it was, in that quarterfinal with Zverev when the bees launched themselves onto the main court, causing a halt to proceedings. Second serve here, is it? Or is it another first serve for Casper Ruud versus Alcaraz? We've got juice, by the way. Siniakova Svitolina. Backhand return there from Casper into the backhand to backhand now. Now it's into the forehand. Is it of Alcaraz? No, he's missed the backhand up the line, Ruud, and it's love 30. What can Casper do tactically to lay a glove on Carlos, to push him in one of the environments that Carlos tends to do better in? I mean, where doesn't Carlos do well? Indoors, I guess. End of the season. Paris-Bercy never made the final there, for example. ATP Tour finals. He's not won the title yet, although, of course, he was quite close last year. Svitolina gets the break on Siniakova. So, by the way, I'm 4 from 4 with my predictions so far today. Backhand to backhand. I do think the Alcaraz backhand is just that bit stronger than the Ah, look at that slice from Ruud, 15-40. Going into the net. Svitolina, 2-love, 15-love. So Svitolina very much in charge of her match with Siniakova in the early stages, and likewise Carlos Alcaraz against Casper Ruud. It's a good serve out wide, though, there from Casper for an ace. So 30-40. Four matches down today, 4 to go on the singles side. Oh, well done, Casper Ruud, getting it back to deuce. Okay, smash here for Casper. Has he put that away? Yes, he has. Game point, Casper Ruud. Svitolina has 2 game points. Hello, Ashley. 2 game points here for Svitolina to get to 3-love. For those of you wondering, I have predicted Svitolina to beat Siniakova and Alcaraz to beat Ruud to get me to 6-0. I think the big doubt would be the Djokovic Draper prediction that I have, which was Draper to win that one. I think that good year is going to continue, by the way, Ashley. 3-love. She leads Siniakova, and Alcaraz saves the game point, so we are back to deuce. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat, but the backhand from Casper today has not exactly been ideal. Forehand return into the forehand of Casper. Pushes Alcaraz out wide, but Alcaraz defends it as only he can. Alcaraz now with a backhand pass attempt at the line, but he doesn't make it. That's really down to the the Casper Ruud forehand there doing a lot of the damage. Forehand return into the forehand of Casper, but he's given Alcaraz a chance there. Now Alcaraz is going to get this lob in. Wow, hitting the baseline, I think. Deuce. Did Casper make 1 or 2 little errors in that rally? Yes. Look at that. In fact, it dropped just inside the baseline, but what a lob it was. Yeah, I've got Svitolina winning today, and I've got Casper winning today. If I get to that, that'll be 6 from 6. Forehand return here from Alcaraz is pretty good. Casper comes into the net. Oh, is this going to land in? No. So game point once again for Casper Ruud. It's almost tea time for me, as in cup of tea time. By the way, I want Ashley and Ghosty, if you're still with us, Jane as well, if you are. I want you to tell me how I sound. I'm going to go over to my kettle now. Siniakova serving at love 3, love 15. I'm going to go over to my kettle. I will answer your question in a moment, Ashley. In fact, I'll answer it as I go to my kettle, and I want to know about my audio. Casper Ruud due now with Alcaraz. How many times has Casper made the Roland Garros final? Twice. Yeah. He beat Zverev. Let's think about his Roland Garros record, shall we, as I test the distance to the mic. So, 2022, I think, was the first appearance. And he got to the quarterfinals, but he lost to Zverev in 4 sets. Bit of a surprise, that one. Because, of course, he'd beaten Zverev in the Madrid final just a few weeks before, skipped Rome. 2023, loses to Djokovic in 4 sets in the semis. Remember that crash, of course, he had at 1 set all when the match was finely balanced at the early stages of the second set. Nerves clearly got the better of Alcaraz that day, as he admitted himself. 2024, first title, beats Zverev in 5 sets in the final. Of course, he's a 5-set king, and he continued that prowess over 5 sets in 2025, when he saved 3 match points en route to an epic 5-set win in one of the best matches of all time against Jannik Sinner. So 2 finals, 2 wins. In fact, in Grand Slam finals, he's only lost 1. Okay, can you still hear me even when I'm making a cup of tea? You're going to make a brew. Can you still hear me all right? It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you can hear me. By the way, 2 break points here for Svitolina, 1540. And by the way, I want to see this subscriber count tick over. If you're a fan of Svitolina, hit subscribe. If you're a fan of Siniakova, hit subscribe. If you're a fan of Casper Ruud, hit subscribe. If you're a fan of Carlos Alcaraz, hit subscribe. I don't care who you're a fan of, hit subscribe. Break point for Carlos Alcaraz, by the way. And he's going to get it because Casper's dumping that forehand into the net. Okay. Tea time. We are looking at a possible double break advantage for Siniakova, which will be matching what Casper Ruud, what Carlos Alcaraz, because Alcaraz has a double break advantage. So huge advantages for the 2 favourites today. Are they both going to make quick work of their opponents? Well, we have got a double break advantage now for Svitolina. 4-love, 15-love. Casper's shots are all over the place so far, indeed. But he's being forced into those errors sometimes as well, to some extent. He's got to hit bigger. He's got to hit harder. He's got to hit closer to the lines. And that's the problem. He's then hitting an error. And, of course, it's an unforced error. But in a way, it's forced. Because if he's up against Corentin Moutet or Liam Brody, no big deal, right? I'm also going to have a bit of yogurt and a banana. So, bear with me, people. 3-love, Carlos Alcaraz. 4-love, Svitolina. Reminding you, we've had 4 matches so far today. We had a straight sets win for Jessica Pegula against Belinda Bencic, winning the first time in that matchup. She was 4-0 before today. It's now 4-1. We had a straight sets win for Medvedev over Mickelson. We had a straight sets win for Iga Swiatek over Karolina Muchova. 6-2, 6-love. What was the other match? I'm missing a match on the men's side. Oh, Cam Norrie winning straight sets over Hijikata. So all the matches so far have been straight sets. And do you know what? I think we might get to 6 from 6 in terms of straight sets. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Will Svitolina win in straight sets? Will Alcaraz win in straight sets? Well, we have got an interesting moment in the Alcaraz-Ruud match because it is love 30 here on Carlos's serve. This is my sort of regular cup of tea moment. Anyone who's been tuning into our watch-alongs so far this week will have been witnessing me drinking a cup of tea about this time. But not necessarily yogurt, muesli, and banana. Yeah, he's a former champion here today. Yeah, John making a snack and a brew indeed, Ashley. Are you in Toronto, by the way, Ashley? I forgot. Excuse me. Oh, Casper. From Love 30, now 40-30. And 5-love. Svitolina running away with this first set. Is it going to be a bagel? I want to know in the live chat. If you think it's going to be a bagel, write bagel. If you think it's not going to be a bagel, write no bagel. By the way, Alcaraz is held for 4-love. And Siniakova serving to stay in the set, love 5. What does this say about Miro Andreeva, by the way, this scoreline so far? You see that rally? Casper hit 3, 4 unbelievably good shots. The second serve down the tee was good. The next shot was good. The drop shot was okay. More than okay. I think he wins the point most of the time, but Alcaraz is just getting all these balls and giving them back with interest. And eventually there's an error there from Ruud, but it's kind of forced. Oh, okay, you're in but you're in Canada, right? Ontario, Canada, of course. Well, Siniakova might be avoiding the bagel. Hola, Beatriz, o Beatriz. Vamos, Alina, tú puedes desde Argentina. Sin duda que ella puede. Especialmente porque está 5-1. Está ganando 5-1 ahora. Y también para mí fue el favorito antes del partido. Y Ashley tiene razón. Tiene extra calor hoy. Y vamos a ver, pero yo pienso que es para Svitolina hoy es fácil. Vamos a ver. Okay, let's revert back to English, although actually I was talking about Svitolina and Siniakova. There might be some people thinking I'm talking about Alcaraz, bearing in mind I'm speaking his tongue. Tennis, talking tennis mukbang. What is that? Is that some Tagalog you're speaking there, Ghosty? Mm-hmm. Okay, Svitolina 7 for the set, 15 all. She has quite a big fan base, does Alina? And Casper Ruud wins the game. Oh, okay. Sorry, Ghosty. Just haven't had much time today. I did squeeze in a bowl of pasta, but now I'm having banana with muesli and yogurt. And I'm going to finish it with a cup of tea. And then I think I'm done. Unless I have a second cup of tea. But I've never heard of a mukbang before. It's an actual live stream where fans watch the host eat. Very curious. And Svitolina wins the first set over Siniakova. 6 games to 1. Very, very, very comfortable for Alina thus far. And I wonder what this says about the result that Mirovan Andreeva had against Siniakova. Because, yeah, well, even the performance, but yeah. By the way, Ghosty, as you're asking, I'm 4 from 4 today. And I might well soon be 6 from 6, by the way, with the way these 2 matches are going. My big call today, though, to be fair, because I think calling Casper to lose to Carlos in particular is not exactly a big call. Alcaraz there go for the serve volley, by the way, but it didn't matter because Ruud missed the return. Ruud now wearing a cap, by the way, and I think it was bothering him in the first couple of games. It's interesting that maybe he didn't try the cap at the beginning. Yeah, big call today is Draper beating Djokovic. That's my big call today. Oh! To be fair, again, can you blame Casper in that rally? No. I mean, look here. He reads it beautifully. He does a backhand, unbelievable down the line. What can you do? It's unplayable, unbeatable. That is what Carlos Alcaraz is right now, especially on this court. And he holds a 5-1. You know, he's not doing a Coco for throwing in a bunch of double faults and giving you a chance. So, yeah. Oh, Casper. You can't be doing that. He is indeed the bait trap. Yeah, Draper over Nole. Yeah, big call, I know, but they don't call me Big Call John for nothing. In fact, they don't call me Big John, really. But they should. Because I'm not like Vance, who just goes for the favourites all the time. Okay. Ruud serving here, 1-5, 15 all. Meanwhile, Svitolina and Siniakova are on a well-deserved break. Big call, John. There you go. Big call, John. Right. My food consumption is done for the day. Only other things will be liquids, and they will be water and tea. Ghosty, I also squeezed in a 7K run today as well. So not too bad. Not too bad in terms of my health. Not maybe a bit rushed, though, I would say, in terms of especially the eating, the squeezing the pasta in. Brown pasta with vegetables, but I think the unhealthy element is me squeezing it all in between these streams. But it is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm not doing a who the hell calls you Big Call John? Zero. Ghosty, zero. Ruud here serving 30 all. Ashley's loving the whole Big Call John debate. By the way, you can just say they, right? They call me Big Call John. Who's they? Well, they, you know, the people. Look at Alcaraz at the net. Look at Alcaraz at the net. My goodness me. Magician indeed. Tin Henman there watching on. Tin Henman once said that, what did he say about Federer's volleys? They were 6 out of 10 or something. This is a guy who, I'm talking about Roger Federer here, who did at least once serve his way to, serve and volley his way to a Wimbledon title in his early days. 03, I think. Siniakova and Svitolina, by the way, are having a moment. The break at the end of this first set. So if you're wondering what's going on there, nothing is what's happening, other than the fact that Svitolina won the first set by 6-1. Set point here for Carlos Alcaraz, by the way. Alcaraz to serve. Backhand return from Alcaraz is decent. Now on the forehand of Carlos, but I think he's going to miss that. Well done, Casper Ruud, as well, for arguably forcing that error with the pace and depth that he was able to produce. Okay. Second serve here for Alcaraz to look at. Siniakova serving first at the beginning of the second set, and she leads 15-love. But it's going to be a second serve for Svitolina to look at. Backhand up the line from Svitolina is excellent. 30-love. Set point number 2 for Carlos Alcaraz, by the way. On return. Ruud serving. Misses the first serve. Once again, Siniakova misses the first serve as well. Great return there from Svitolina, and the forehand's going to go long from Siniakova. And Carlos Alcaraz is going to put a forehand winner away to win the first set by 6-1. Just seeing some of your comments there, Ghosty. Another second serve here from Siniakova, by the way. Why do I keep saying, by the way? I don't know. It's just a habit. Alcaraz's performance quality in that first set, 9.7. Oh, I was hoping we wouldn't get any commentary for Siniakova, Svitolina. Come on. So I'm going to turn you off, commentators. Let's have a quick look at Siniakova. She does hold for one love. I guess we're getting Alcaraz in a few days, huh? I mean, yeah. What are the hurdles? What are the possibilities of it not happening? I'm just going to have a quick look at the draw. I'm going to paint out some scenarios, Ghosty, how we won't get a Alcaraz final. I can't see Alcaraz losing to Ruud, not on this form, or even if he drops a little bit. Couldn't see it before, but with this level, that's even by Alcaraz's standards, is just off the charts. It's also not a great matchup for Casper, especially here in Indian Wells. Furthermore, Cam Norrie, he's not beating Carlos, not in Indian Wells. Yes, he beat him in Paris-Bercy last year, but he's not beating him in Indian Wells, and he's not beating him in this form. So, but this is where the Alcaraz story could get interesting. If Draper beats Djokovic and Draper then beats Medvedev, okay? Draper can trouble Alcaraz. He can beat him. He's beaten him a couple of times already, including in Indian Wells. And I think if anyone's going to make Carlos a bit nervous en route to the final, I think it might be Jack as well. The lefty plus lefty combination, plus the fact that he's beaten him already in the desert. And I think it could be... Alcaraz talked about how he felt nervous playing Jack last year. So that's... I'm just laying out a few very plausible ways we don't get a Alcaraz final. As for Yannick, okay, I feel his draw's not bad. Pretty sure he beats Lerner. If the 2-2 result they had on a hard court last year in, I think, Beijing is anything to go by, then Yannick just does a lot of what Lerner does, but does it better. Oh, wow, look at that touch at the net from Carlos, by the way. Now, there's only two people left to deny us the Alcaraz final. By the way, Djokovic could, of course, have a role to play. He beats Draper and then he beats Medvedev. I think Medvedev is the odd one out there in terms of the fact I just can't see Medvedev beating back-to-back Djokovic or Draper and especially Carlos Alcaraz here. Alcaraz will just serve and volley him to death. Plus the touch that we're seeing from Carlos at the net today, for example, which he has. Now, the question is, can Zverev or Fils prevent a Yannick Sinner Carlos Alcaraz final? Short answer is no. Long answer is probably no. Oh no, we've got a retirement. Siniakova retires against Alina Svitolina. So Svitolina's through. And that explains a little bit about the lackluster performance we saw from Katarina. It was a warm embrace at the net, but that's a pity. Siniakova there in terms of her run in the desert, which has been pretty impressive, of course, beating Miller Andreeva in the previous round. But Svitolina progresses. 6-1, 1-1 by virtue of a retirement. Less than an hour on the clock, 45 minutes. Siniakova, by the way, looks all right, at least emotionally. Maybe she's had a good hour or so to prepare herself for this. Maybe she even knew pre-match that taking the court was a huge risk. And so she retires. I don't know if we're going to get any information.
Stay focused that she did that. And, yeah.
Just going to go back on this to see if we get any information.
It was lovely to see them combine on the court because someone who smiles all the time on the court.
But just looking at the way she runs at the end of this, I think it's the last point.
But anyway, more importantly, we could just see, as we thought, Katerina Siniakova, sad to say, it looks like a hip abductor injury.
Yeah, hip or abductor injury. So that brings the end to her campaign. Svitolina, of course, is going to be playing Iga Swiatek as a result in the next round. So breaking news. Svitolina's through at the expense of Katerina Siniakova, who was a shadow of herself, to be fair, across the 9 games that we had. She was down a set. And that final point, she was just sort of trotting across, really, 4. And so, Svitolina goes through to set up a quarterfinal with Iga Swiatek. We'll have a look forward to that match maybe at some point. But in the meantime, Svitolina is going to take the mic. Just seeing them embrace at the net. And yeah, in fact, I might even preview that match on the live stream because it is a very intriguing quarterfinal we're going to have in Indian Wells between Alina Svitolina and Iga Swiatek. Here's Svitolina now. Hopefully you can hear this all right.
Clearly not the way you would want to win that one. I'm sure you are wishing, as the rest of us are, speedy recovery to Katerina.
Yeah, definitely. It's always, very, sad to win the match like this. And Katerina, I know her for many years, and she's a great fighter. And today, I could see a little bit that she was off. And then, of course, playing so great matches, great tennis, earlier these weeks, and for sure, it's unbelievable results for her, and yeah, very sad to end the tournament like this.
We cannot take away what was happening on your side of the net. You've beaten her 5 times. You were playing really well. What were you happiest with the way you came out performing?
Yeah, I try to improve every match. It's a little bit different this year with the different balls, and I feel like the conditions a little bit different, of day and night. And I try to adjust my game. I try to really, work with what I have, and very happy so far with the matches that I won, and try to build on that.
What does the rest of the day like today look like for you? I mean, maybe a little unexpected extra time, but what does Alina Svitolina do to relax? You're a mom, you're a wife, but what will you do to relax, enjoy the rest of this day, maybe outside of tennis?
Well, I'm alone here because Gail already at home with our daughter Sky, so for me it's going to be just time off alone by myself.
You almost sound sad about that.
Yeah, some extra sleep for me and not for Gail. That's extra nice.
Well, we'll let you enjoy both the win and the extra.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, Svitolina is through to the next round by virtue of retirement in a match that, of course, she was dominating. She was up a set and she signs the tennis balls as she sees herself through to the next round, where she is going to be playing Iga Swiatek. Their head-to-head, by the way, reads as follows. 4-1 for Iga Swiatek, with Iga having won 80% of their matches, 4 out of 5, as you can tell. Their current rankings, we see Iga at number 2 in the world, whereas Alina Svitolina is currently ranked number 9. So both inside the top 10, but there is a gap between the two. Svitolina, of course, has a career high of number 3 in the world, whereas Iga's previously been at number 1, had a lengthy spell there between 2022 and 2024. Both righties and both the same height, both play with a bit of margin, but Alina, obviously the flatter hitter of the two. Alina's pedigree in the desert, by the way, is nowhere near the same as Iga's. We'll come to that in a moment. Just having a look back on some of their matches, I remember that match at Roland Garros last year that Iga won in straight sets in the quarterfinals. They've also played in the Sunshine Double before, albeit in Miami. It was in 2025 when Iga won that, also in straight sets. Iga won in straight sets on a hard court in Dubai. But you have to go back to Wimbledon 2023 and what was an epic match that they had, one of the matches of 2023, and Svitolina's only win over Iga in that 3-set classic. And then prior to that was in Rome in 2021 that Iga also won in straight sets. So Iga's 4 wins have all been in straight sets. Regarding their form this year, both of them went deep in Australia, but probably had ambitions to go further. Svitolina, of course, has not yet made a Grand Slam final in her career. And yeah, time is ticking on that one. Iga Swiatek has probably even bigger ambitions in terms of winning multiple more slams, she hopes. And she hopes to add to her multiple Indian Wells titles this year. And I think she has a very good chance of doing so. Her story, by the way, Iga Swiatek in the desert. 2021, she got to the round of 16 before losing to Yelena Ostapenko, who, of course, would go on to be a huge nemesis of hers. In 2022, she wins the title for the first time, beating Maria Sakkari in the final. 2023, she loses in the semis to Alina Rybakina. Bit of a earth-shuddering result in some ways, that one. And then in 2024, she wins the title again, beating Iga Swiatek. Beating Maria Sakkari again. And then in 2025, she lost in the semis once again. So the last 4 years in a row, she's always made the semis, but last year, and she lost the eventual winner as well last year, and also 2 years prior to that. So even when she loses Indian Wells in the semifinals, she does lose to the eventual winner, if there's any consolation in that. As for Svitolina, last year she made the quarterfinals before also losing to an eventual winner in the form of Mira Andreeva. In 2024, Svitolina just had one win there against Siniakova, who, of course, she vanquished today, albeit by a virtue of a walkover. And she lost in the round of 32 to Emma Navarro that year, who also went on to beat Aryna Sabalenka. Regarding their passages to this stage, well, Svitolina had an epic 3-set win over Laura Siegemund in the round of 64 before coming through Aisling Kruger in much more comfortable circumstances in the round of 32. And then that walkover she had today over Siniakova. Siniakova was way off it. Her movement was barely there. We saw in the latter points, I think the abductor injury finally caught up with her. And yeah, made sense for her to retire rather than damage that hip or abductor anymore. So Svitolina does progress, but she has dropped 1 set en route. Iga Swiatek, by the way, she came through Day and then Sakkari in straight sets before demolishing Karolina Muchova today, 6-2, 6-love. And yeah, was at 2 games all and then ultimately ran away with it, winning 10 games in a row. And Muchova couldn't lay a glove on her, just like last year. So Sabalenka, Svitolina is the quarterfinal we're going to get. I think it's the quarterfinal that many of us anticipated, especially when the draw was made. Iga probably had a few more concerns, obviously playing players with a great pedigree, at least on the WTA Tour, regarding Muchova and Sakari. But how do I see this one going? I see Swiatek winning. And I see her doing so in 3 sets. Alcaraz, Casper, Ruud. 3-2 on serve. So Casper's doing a much better job of it here in this second set than in the first set when he got blown away. So that gives us 5 of our 8 matches today, by the way. And guess what? 5 predictions right for Uncle John. Do hit that like button. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Welcome, by the way, if you were just watching Svitolina against Siniakova. Welcome to us over here. We're commentating on Casper Ruud against Carlos Alcaraz. We have got all the matches on Talking Tennis today, so you won't miss a single ball with us. I might miss a ball, but I hope you won't. Big Cool John, 5 and 5 today. Yeah, I know. It's how it is. Ghost is how it is. Yeah. Big call this, saying that I thought, by the way, could be 6 from 6 if Casper wins. A lot of criticism, by the way, for the Stadium 2 emptiness today. And also at other times during this tournament. Ruud here serving at 2-3. Backhand return. Backhand from Casper into the backhand of Carlos. Forehand now from Carlos. Forehand cross court into the forehand of Alcaraz. Oh, what about that forehand from Alcaraz? Now he's going to... Ooh, but the touch has evaded him at the net. So Casper just needed Carlos's level to drop a little bit. And it has. And as a result, we've got a competitive set. Casper Ruud served down the tee. That's a good forehand from him. 30 love. He's got to go big on every forehand, right? So Alcaraz here. 3-2 to Ruud, or sorry, 3-2 to Alcaraz, so it's 2-3, but it's going to be 40 love now. Unreturned serve there from Casper. Oh, look at Tommy. I'm always mega busy. Haas. Tommy under pressure. Haas. Tommy, I deserve this job as tournament director. Haas. Forehand there from Alcaraz is pretty good, though, because it's... Oh, look at that forehand cross-court from Casper Ruud, giving Carlos some of his own medicine there. Very good, Ashley. Okay, 3-all. Is there something a bit dystopian, by the way, about Indian Wells? Or am I... Yeah. I'm just thinking there's a movie. Oh, look at that from Carlos. 15 love. There's a movie. There's a movie that I saw 2 or 3 years ago. It got slagged off, but there's a dystopian part to it. I'm going to find out what the movie was. I think Margot Robbie was in the movie. I thought she was, but she might not have been. I think also a British singer. What's his name? A British sort of boy band singer who's been in a few movies. Someone let me know the boy band singer that's sometimes does a bit of acting. Styles, Harry Styles. I think they're in the both. Harry Styles is definitely in it. Don't Worry, Darling. Yeah, that's the one. So there's a dystopian part, or it's kind of like half of it. And you if you'd seen the movie, you'd know what I mean. Florence Pugh is in it. So maybe Margot Robbie's not in it, but Florence Pugh's definitely in it. I thought Margot Robbie was in it, but maybe she's not. Yeah, Olivia Wilde is in it. Yeah, a lot of people said it was rubbish. Yeah, don't disagree with that. But if you saw the movie, you'd know what I mean about Indian Wells. Yeah, he's been absent this year from the stands. I think we won't see him. I think we won't see him. And yet, even if we do, he's not going to get much of a backlash because, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. I think that most people don't know who he is, what he does, because the media won't. Because it's midway through the second week, and we haven't heard anything from the media on it. We haven't heard anything from the media on the data breach, by the way, the data leak, which is now into its 6th day, I think. And this is the health and safety of professional tennis players at risk that the authorities say that they care about so much. So, yeah. Of course, they'll come up with some nonsense. They just want the problem to go away. And just hope it does. And often in life, things do go away. But they'll come up with something like, "Oh, we haven't commented because we want, it's a highly secretive operation, and we need to keep this all under wraps." But then, if it was, then why tell the players that or why not advise the players not to post about it on social media? Why not instruct the players not to give interviews to the media? But of course, the truth is that they just don't know what they're doing. No leadership, no idea. Just bluffing their way through it. Right. Casper Ruud to serve at 3-4. And that's where we're at. That was Svitolina talking, by the way. Okay, so Ruud, love 15 here on his serve. Okay, what's Casper Ruud doing? Let's have a look. He is 30-15 on his serve. That's an interesting interview. Okay, wonderful forehand here from Alcaraz, but well defended by Ruud. It's going to land back in the court, but Alcaraz has a smash and he puts it away. 30 all. Forehand here from Casper. Now he's going to come into the net. It's going to be a really tricky smash for Casper. Lets it bounce, puts the smash away. Cool as a Norwegian cucumber. Okay. So game point for Casper Ruud. Agassi and Graf produced a baseball player. Corda Sr. produced a golfer. And obviously a tennis player. What sport do you think the Svitolina Monfils offspring will get into? A 4-all, by the way. Formula One. 4-all, Casper Ruud now to receive the Alcarez serve at 4:10 local time. Just seeing the way Alcaraz collected the ball there. Good serve out wide from Carlos and wonderful backhand from him that Casper Ruud can't deal with. So 4-all, 15 love. Alcaraz serving first in this set. Alcaraz at the net, puts the volley away. 30 love for Carlos. Points won on serve in the match. He's only lost 5 points on serve in the whole match, Carlos. So even if Ruud has made a better fight of it in this second set, he's not really making much of an impression on the serve of Carlos. And he's not going to make an impression there when he's dumping, when he's incredibly hitting forehands like that, Carlos. $40-15. And Carlos holds to 15. So change of ends 5-4. When they return to the court, Alcaraz will be, Casper Ruud will be serving to stay in the match. Tsitsipas is tweeting about Uber drivers. An Uber driver in LA asked me if tennis was the one with the horses. I said no. He said, oh yeah, that's croissant. He meant croquet. We both nodded and kept it moving. Okay, thanks, Stefanos. Oh, Nadal's uncle. Boy, oh boy, I can tell you plenty of stuff. Which, by the way, is touched upon in the book Even the Defeats by John Silk. The story of Miguel Nadal and the story of how Sir Alex Ferguson drew inspiration from Manchester United's losses to mastermind some of their greatest triumphs. So yeah, it's touched on in this book. Which is available in all good bookstores and some not so good ones. So he was a centre-back. He also missed a penalty against England in a Euro 96 penalty shootout. I mean, when you say bull BS story, do you mean like not a good one? Do you mean he's invented it? Or what? Second serve here. Has a good second serve from Casper, and the return goes long. 15 love. Yeah, Miguel Nadal. He centre back for Barcelona, won the Champions League with them in '92. Came runners up to Manchester United in the European Cup Winners' Cup in '91, a match that I think he also featured in. The Beast of Barcelona. I don't know if that was a real official nickname, but it was a nickname that was given to him by the British media, at least. Yeah, he might be. Ghosty, he might be. That's the trouble with people like Stefanos, is that you can't see the wood for the trees. Yeah, what else? Miguel Nadal, can I tell you? I suspect he was a Real Madrid fan as well, despite playing for Barcelona. Oh, and Ferguson wanted him. The reason he's mentioned in my book is because Ferguson wanted him at the beginning of the 96-97 season. Ferguson was toying with the idea of playing 3 centre halves in Europe, so he wanted a bit more depth in that position. But he also thought Miguel would give us some options in the Premier League because, yeah, he was a big, strong guy who could deal with some tough northern strikers that were on the scene, like Lee Chapman at Leeds, for example, and Mick Harford at Luton, and who else was big mean at the time? John Fashanu, I guess. These strikers that were in and around the Premier League in the early to mid 90s. And also just the style of play. I think Miguel Nadal would have been fine. And he was just an unbelievable defender. But he did miss a penalty in the Euro 96 penalty shootout against England, which helped England win. So, well, I say missed it. Seaman saved it. So you can Google Miguel Nadal. Miguel Angel, I think it is. Miguel Angel Nadal. He's from Mallorca originally, of course, just like the whole family. And you did occasionally see him in Rafa's box, normally at the slams. There's a famous clip of him in Miguel Nadal holding Rafa when Rafa's about, I don't know, 3 years old maybe. Oh, a mishit backhand here from Casper Ruud. And as a result, we're at deuce. And what that means is Carlos Alcaraz is 2 points away from the win. What a return from Alcaraz. What a return. Casper couldn't deal with that. And as a result, we have match point Carlos Alcaraz, potentially to set up a quarterfinal with Cameron Norrie. Ruud here serving. Oh, am I wrong? Is it just deuce? My scoreboard says deuce. So maybe I'm wrong. I'm getting all excited about the score and I've got it wrong. Oh dear. A game point now for Casper. Mallorca is the island. The capital is Palma. And a lot of cycling goes on, but I think it's more from tourists. And it has a football team, Real Mallorca, I think the name of the team is. They are a sort of a yo-yo club. They kind of go up and down. Yeah, I know. I got it all wrong, Ghosty. Just busy thinking about Miguel Nadal and what a great centre-half he would have made for United. Backhand here into the backhand of Alcaraz. Good net coverage there from Casper, and Alcaraz can't deal with it. So 5 games all. Rebecca hasn't started yet, right? Against Cartal. Not yet. It's due to come up on the same court as that match between Svitolina and drop shot didn't work from Carlos there. Yeah, it's going to be on the same court as Svitolina and Siniakova was. Okay, 15 all here on the Alcaraz serve. Okay, Alcaraz on the backhand. Now Ruud on the backhand. It's going to go long, though. So 30-15 here for Carlos Alcaraz. Ruud's playing better now. He's wearing the cap, no? It's all about the cap. You know that. I know that. Who are we kidding? Ooh, 40-15. Two game points here for Alcaraz and 6-5. Ruud puts that into the net, so it is indeed 6-5. Ruud's done well to hang in there in this second set. So when they return to the court, Casper Ruud once again will be walking that tightrope of serving to stay in the match. Okay, no Gael Monfils in Miami, and he doesn't know about Monte Carlo. I'm assuming that's injury related. Why not move to Estoril? Yeah, that was the, sorry, Ghosty. Yeah, I'm only here for that, yeah. By the way, I don't like the word I don't like that you've used in this sentence, by the way, there are 2 words in this sentence, Ghosty. I don't like either of them. And the last one is fine. That "and where" one is not a problem. Actually, there's probably 3, but there's 2 English words in this sentence. And I'm not keen on either of them. Ruud here serving, 15 all. Okay, now Casper on a run-around forehand. He loves that run-around forehand where possible. Drop shot, Casper. I think there was a double bounce in there. Yeah. So 30-15. Yeah. A drop shot there from, Casper. Forehand from Casper, winner. So 40-15. So I think we've had 5 results now today, yeah? Backhand return from Carlos is really good, but we're into the rally. That's a good cross-court backhand from Carlos, and Casper can't deal with it, so it's 40-30. Second serve here for Alcaraz to look at. Backhand return. Backhand from Carlos into the forehand. Forehand now. Forehand from Casper. It's just going to make it over the net, but Carlos can't get that over the net, and we're going to a tiebreak. So, tiebreak time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Upset me? No, they didn't upset me. Expat is one, and Journo is the other. Yeah. It's nothing about Aussies, by the way. Yeah, people all over the world use it, and it's just the amount of idiots that I see call themselves journos and that correlation. I think it's pretty strong. An expat, yeah, because it's just a posh word for immigrants that wealthy people use. It's weird that the TV announcers are mentioning Bill Gates. Probably, almost certainly not Ghosty. I mean, he's a billionaire, so. Anyway, serving here, Casper Ruud. It is 1-0 Carlos, and it's gonna be a second serve for the Spaniard to look at. Backhand return here. Forehand from Carlos is not bad, but the slice from Alcaraz is also not bad. Backhand to backhand right now. Slice now from Casper, so it's gonna be a goodish forehand for Carlos, and once Carlos unleashes like that, you're normally in trouble, and that's exactly what happened to Casper Ruud there. 2-0. Yeah, I'm fine here, but I like it. I like it. So I'm here for the foreseeable future. Backhand here into the forehand of Carlos, but Casper's there for it. Casper now has a lob, but it's going to be a smash for Carlos that he puts away 3-love. TRT Nola online. Thanks for covering, and thank you for joining. Great that you're here. Make sure you hit the like button. And I guess you've already subscribed, but if you haven't, you know what to do. So 3-0 Carlos Alcaraz. Ghosty, yeah, yeah. And you're welcome. Okay, second serve. Carlos there ready for with a runaround forehand return. He was ready to unleash himself, but he dumps it into the net. Oh, okay, there's Bill Gates. Thank you, TRT. Okay, forehand here for Carlos. Oh, now Carlos is obliging with a forehand error. 4-1. For once, my stream is not too bad in comparison to the scoreboard. And then the scoreboard might just jump to like 4-2 in a moment. Good that we're adding some subscribers. Great. Oh, by the way, okay, so we're in the tiebreak here. Oh, Carl Casper. Come on, man. It was an excellent rally, but Casper, Casper, Casper. I'm going to charge my laptop at this point because the battery's getting low. Change of ends, 5-1. Can you hear me all right, by the way? Yeah, it's a leaping backhand, leaping smash. I'm not sure if it's backhand or not. Was it backhand? I thought it was forehand. So 2 points away now for Casper. Oh, Carlos Alcaraz, incredible up the line shot there. Points. Good that you can hear me. 5 match points here for Carlos Alcaraz. Serves out wide, backhand return, backhand from Carlos. What is Casper doing there? I think he's missed that. He has. Yeah, 6-2. Good for Ruud. Well, that was fun. Welcome, by the way, to Rebecca and Cartel fans. Alcaraz this time doesn't miss. He is through to the next round with a very, very, very impressive performance. 6-1, 7-6 over Casper Ruud. In that first set, Carlos Alcaraz hit some heights that I'm not sure even I've seen before on a tennis court. He got a 9.7 rating for his performance in that first set. Maybe he dropped a little bit in the second set, but either way, he does progress. Straight sets, extending his advantage over Casper Ruud in the head-to-head. Just one loss for Carlos in his career against Casper. That was at the ATP Finals in 2024. But yeah, Carlos Alcaraz is going to be playing Cam Norrie in the next round. Shall we look forward to that Cam Norrie match? Oh, Elena Rybakina is up an early break on Cartel, by the way. So Djokovic coming up against Jack Draper later on. That'll be live on the channel, of course. But Alcaraz, once again, proving who is the king of the desert. By the way, king of the predictions. Hello? Hello? Are you paying attention, people? 6 out of 6 now today. Oh, yeah, there was that Rio final that Norrie won. Big call, John. Yeah, and she's down a break as well. Just a smiley face from Carlos there. Okay, let's look forward to Carlos Alcaraz against Cam Norrie in the next round. It's a quarterfinal between two former champions. Carlos Alcaraz winning the title on 2 occasions, 2023 and 2024, before losing in the semifinals last year to Jack Draper. His overall performance rating against Casper Ruud today, 9.5. So I think Cameron Norrie is going to have to bring it and bring it big style in the next round. And so good was he at the net today, by the way, Carlos. And it's a part of his game, given that the forehand is massive, given that he's made huge improvements to his serve, given that probably the return is arguably the best in the world, and the backhand is meaty. The touch at the net is something that we don't always talk about. So, yeah, it's another facet to his game, and just what a player, the world number one. And I think he's going to be world number one for a while yet, albeit that, of course, he does have points to defend a lot during the clay court season, but he's got a nice margin at the moment over Jannik Sinner, albeit that Jannik, of course, has lots of points to make up in the coming weeks because, of course, this time last year he was suspended. But that is for another time. Cam Norrie, by the way, he came through against Rinky Hichikata today. And before that, he beat McDonald in the round of 64 and Alex de Minaur. Alex de Minaur was the big one. That was a very impressive win. And by the way, could have been even more comfortable than 6-4, 6-4 because he was up 6-4, 5-2 and was serving for it. But Norrie got one of the, de Minaur got one of the breaks back. But then today, Rinky Hichikata, yeah, comfortably the better player. And I don't think it was a huge surprise that he won. Alcaraz, by the way, has come through against Dimitrov and Rinderknecht. The score against Rinderknecht was redlining in the first set and won the tiebreak. And yeah, I think there were some concerns. I think he was maybe even down a break right at the beginning of the second set in that one, Alcaraz, but ultimately prevailing in 3 sets to set up the match he had today with Casper Ruud, which I've already mentioned how good he was, winning 6-1, 7-6 to set up this Cam Norrie quarterfinal. Now, the question is, Cam Norrie, Carlos Alcaraz, head-to-head. Well, you might be thinking, I'm not sure if Cam Norrie's ever beaten Carlos Alcaraz before. Well, let me tell you, you're in for a surprise because the head-to-head is 5-3. So 3 times Cam has got the better of him. There is one of the 3 victories, I think it's fair to say, has an asterisk by it. And I'm talking about the one in Rio, where Alcaraz was on one leg and still managed to push it to 3 sets in terms of where he was at health-wise. The one that probably many forget is the 2022 one in Cincinnati, because there was the one in Paris-Bercy at the back end of last year, and it was obviously quite recent. Alcaraz was really cruising in that one and somehow lost. But Alcaraz at Paris-Bercy. By the way, Alcaraz unbeaten for the year, don't forget. He might well be passing Rafa Nadal's unbeaten record at some point from 2022. I say it's not the best unbeaten record we've seen on the ATP Tour. I think, was it 41 from Djokovic maybe in 2015? But Nadal has recently had the first, I think he went 22 matches of the year. Well, Alcaraz is currently at 7 in Australia, of course, and then 5 in Qatar. So Carlos Alcaraz is at 12, 13, 14, 15. So he's going to have to probably come close to doing the Sunshine Double, if not get the Sunshine Double, in order to surpass Rafa's point. But anyway, that's a topic for a different day. Alcaraz, Cam Norrie, head-to-head. Let's get back to that. Yeah, the one in Cincinnati is the one that I think many might forget. Certainly I do. Shall we listen to Carlos, by the way? Regarding his win over Casper Ruud.
Yeah, I mean, the distance was difficult to be honest. Really great hot here. And I think this tournament is one of the tournaments that we can feel more the difference between playing night session or day session. I think
talking about day and night session, big difference. Yeah. Be interesting to see if he plays Cam Norrie night or day. But I think he likes the day.
So he's really happy about playing that kind of level. So let's see, just really happy to get through and hopefully playing this level in the next round.
You played fantastic, and I know we say this a lot about you, but you and Casper had some fun exchanges at the end of the match. How do you find that balance between that joy and that intensity so often?
Well, I think I can have fun, I can enjoy, but at the same time, you know, I can turn my mind, you know, and be focused again. So I just try to play, you know, my best tennis in every point. I'm just trying to be focused on that. But you know, when a point is it decides to smile, to appreciate that, to enjoy it. I mean, I gotta do that. It doesn't matter if it comes from my side or comes to the opponent's side. But you know, I think that's what happened today. That you know, Casper played such a great points, and then I had to enjoy that as well. So I think that means that we both you know love tennis.
Fantastic match again. Congratulations, best of luck.
Both of them love tennis. Well, so does Cam Norrie love tennis. So, just looking ahead to that match, as I say, day and night session. Just responding. Just funny because I wanted to hear if he was being asked a question in English, but he wasn't. It was in English. Oh, wonderful. We have a new member, by the way, here. Great that you've joined us, Ella Annie 3496. Welcome to the membership club. You will be able to get access to exclusive footage, and you'll also be able to use emojis in the live chat. But of course, you'll also be supporting the channel. So we do appreciate your membership. Welcome to the club. Back to the head-to-head, by the way, between Cam Norrie and Carlos Alcaraz. Yeah, the first three went the way of Carlos in 21 and 22, 2021, 2022. One of those was in Indian Wells, by the way, the quarterfinal in 2022. Alcaraz, of course, made the semis that year before losing to Rafa Nadal. I mean, Carlos in the desert. Think about this. 2022 semifinals, 2023 winner, 2024 winner, 2025 semifinals, 2026, at least the quarterfinal. But Cam Norrie in the desert, 2021 winner, 2022 quarterfinals, 2026 quarterfinals. He does like it there. So he has got some pedigree. Last year as well, he made the round of 32 before going down to Tommy Paul. 2024 round of 32 as well, going down to Gael Monfils. And 2023 quarterfinal, losing to Francis Tiafoe. So yeah, he gets lots of wins in the desert and tends to go deep, as he has done again this time. Looking at the matches though, I think if we just park Rio to one side, okay, that one anomaly, all right? The Wimbledon win in 2025 that Carlos had in straight sets, yeah, very, very comfortable as the scoreline suggests. Paris-Bercy, absolutely deserved win, fantastic win for Cam Norrie, indoor hard, totally different at Indian Wells. Well, they have played at Indian Wells before, and that was in 2022, by the way. And I would say Carlos is a much better player today, although he was showing us incredible signs in that semi-final he had with Rafa. Wow. Never mind the run he had in Madrid to the title as well. It was going to produce a few weeks later. This was the sort of new Carlos. I say new Carlos, he'd only been on the tour for about a year, if not less. But there was a big difference between the 21 season and the 22 season. I remember when he turned up in Australia and seeing him play Berrettini across 5 sets. His only 5-set loss in his career, by the way. And there was a transformation then, just going into that Australian Open. I thought he was going to go far, but Berrettini had the better of him that day. But Cam Norrie, will he get the better of him here in the desert? No. Absolutely not. Carlos Alcaraz is winning in straight sets. All right, come and join me for Elena Rybakina against Sonny Cartel. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.